Hey everyone, this is Ben with the Tiger's Den, and today we're doing some Magic the Gathering Arena, and as the title indicates, we are going to be doing some decks that we've brewed up recently. So let's get to it. So if you joined us last time, I don't think we're going to play it this time, because we did this in the last stream, but we did some Jund aggro here, where we have this kind of wonky curve with some kind of rough colors, because we have this little splash of red for these couple cards, but then we have Once Upon a Time to help try to figure out the mana situation and all that. Oh, it seems like I've just my system volume's down. Looks like hopefully it's working for you guys all right. Oh yeah, good. Okay, looks like everything's set over there. So this is one of the decks I want to look at. We have this Jund Knights list that I put together where it's basically a black-green deck. We've got Stormfist Crusader here. The green's a small splash. We have this minor adventure theme, so I thought, why not try out Innkeeper and Lucky Clover? Then we have Once Upon a Time again to find our combo pieces, or not really combo pieces, but our synergy pieces and the right lands. 22 lands here with 4 Once Upon a Time seems okay with this incredibly slim curve, especially when 4 of our 2-drops are actually 0 drops a lot of the time. So we're gonna... I don't know if I'll have time to check out all these, but gonna want to take a look at that. I have this one here, the Royal Tomb, which, again, tome, just putting that out there. But I was thinking to myself, I don't really know how Reanimator decks work in the previous meta or this one, but I was thinking, you know that I love the Royal Scions, right? Everyone knows that watches this channel now. And I thought, what if you Royal Scions along with Tomebound Lich? Because that's another, Death Toucher that you can throw the Scions buff on, and it's also lifelinking. That seems pretty cool. So you're pushing through your Tomebound Lich to do looting for you. So it's like you're kind of getting to activate the Royal Scions, both their abilities, while getting you some life and hitting your opponent for a little bit. And then, we have these cards to throw things into our graveyard, and these guys throw things into our graveyard, so then we can do this reanimation thing, where we should probably have more than just the one Concoct and 4 Bond of Revival, but I don't have more than one Concoct, so we're sticking on that for now. I also only have 2 Agent of Treacheries, but I have the 4 Drakaseth, so threw those in there, and then I thought, well, we have all these things that are drawing us extra cards, so what if we just threw Improbable Alliance in? Because, so that's 4, 8, 10 triggers plus 8 that can trigger every turn, or plus 12 if we count Improbable Alliance in there, which can sometimes do repeated triggers for us if we get enough mana. So what the heck, we'll do our Reanimator thing. Again, I've never played Reanimator in Standards, so we'll see how that goes. But then we've got some Improbable Alliance here as a backup plan that synergizes with most of the things that are our main plan of throwing things into our graveyard. So we'll probably lose a lot with that deck. And then finally, I haven't actually forged this one yet, but I want to try out this Okay, so Chivalry, because it's like a value knight deck, so Chivalry being like knightly values. Anyway, so I was thinking to myself, I really love Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, and it just seems like, what if we threw Sorin into this, like, mostly black deck with Worthy Knight for some, plenty of knights in here to trigger our synergies, 31 of them to be exact. So yeah, what if we threw those into a deck along with this Black Knights package, and stuck Sorin in there, and then we had Rankle to get value out of our Worthy Knight tokens, then we had Cavalier of Night to recur our knights and or sack tokens, or Foulmire Knight to kill our opponent's stuff, and then we could bring it back with Sorin, or sack a Swordmaster after it's on its Curry Favor thing. So I need 1 Worthy Knight and 3 Midnight Reapers to finish this off, and I've got 9 rare cards, I think. Yeah, probably have a second Cavalier of Night in here too if I had one, but I just wanted to try this out, see how it goes. I'm also down to Godless Shrine, and didn't want to get too far into my rares. But since we're so little white in this deck, I figure, maybe it'll work out okay with this configuration. Maybe it won't. Who knows? We'll probably find out, if not tonight, in the near future. So, anyway, let's jump right into things, and let's start out with Jund Knights, because that seems like a pretty straightforward one, all things considered. And we get to play with that beautiful, beautiful egg sleeve that I don't know why I like that sleeve so much, man. It's just... Oh, hey, forgot one of my lighting situations here. So let's get that on and turn down. Ooh, did not mean to change the color there. Yeah, there we go. Get me a little less shadowy. We go first. We've got our colors. We've got a nice curve. So going to lead on Ebon Legion here. Doesn't really do much on turn 2 on its own. It's just a 1-2 basically that turn. But we can Foulmire Knight and get some additional value out of it if we save it for a little while. So, ooh, well, that's not what we want to see once upon a time, is it? So I think we're going to do here. Just get in 1 damage. We're going to hold up for Black Lance Paragon, if that seems good. Looks like we're likely to get Oko'd in the near future here. And then, if that doesn't look good, we can Once Upon a Time. And I think, given that they shocked in here, I'm expecting them to have removal. So I'm going to represent a second threat. And then hopefully they can't deal with both of these, and we can at least get a little damage. Ooh, Lucky Clover's a very nice draw there, because we can start grinding out a ton of card advantage here. I'm going to shock this in, because that'll let us pump Knight if we need to, and it'll let us get the card advantage off Foulmire Knight at instant speed later if we want to do that. I don't think we're pumping here. I think I'm just going to play this Lucky Clover and pass it back. We did enough damage off of these two that if they don't have removal for Knight of the Ebon Legion, it will get its buff. Oh, it's a Growth Spiral. Okay. When I see these stock standard lands, I don't immediately think Growth Spiral or other... because I usually associate that with, you know, Guildgate into Guildgate or something. Okay, it's a fire stack. So Temur fires. I don't think I've played against Temur. What? Well, it's a good thing we can cast most of our deck for 2. Alright, so they're at 11. We can shock in. Hit them for 5, 8. That's what we do. Take him to 3. Alright, so both of these threats are lethal now, plus we got 2 more in hand, and this guy can draw us a couple cards, so this guy can get back Ebon Legion and then play him immediately, so then we have that guy. Okay, we got there. Opponent dealt a little damage. I think they dealt 4 to themselves there, so they could have been at 7, but they still would have been dead to both of those threats put together, but not individually, because we could only get our Knight of the Ebon Legion up to 6. So, Painful Mana Base, bringing our opponent really low there for a turn 4. Is that a turn? Yeah, because we hit a land off every turn, they killed one of our lands. Yeah, so that was a turn 4 lethal, which I was not expecting to present in this deck. We go first again. Oh, and we have the best card in our deck, Stormfist Crusader. We do have 3 adventure synergy cards, which I think we have like 14 or something adventures in this deck. So like we're gonna get Once Upon a Timed. Don't do it on our turn, please. Thank you. Never do it on your opponent's turn. Well, sometimes, but not on your opponent's turn 1. But yeah, so I don't know if we actually have enough. If we actually have enough adventure stuff in this deck to make this worthwhile, but it seemed fun, so you know, I put it in. All right, we've got a lot more black than red in this deck, so I'm going to go up to double black. It's probably like a Given basic forest, basic mountain, I'm expecting probably a Gruul beatdown deck here, which Blacklands Paragon will be quite good against. Also, I'm guessing that we're going to get stomped on in the near future. So there's no reason to play anything out right now. They could go 3-drop here, of course, but guessing it's going to be Stompy Giant. Save their food for later. Oh, nothing. Okay. Still can't play our Innkeepers. I don't think it's worth it to play out our Lucky Clover here, because all of our adventures except for Murderous Rider are 2-drops, so we can, if it ends up being relevant, we can Lucky Clover into cast most of our adventures. Oh, actually, no, I guess that Foulmire Knight, that guy costs 3 on the adventure half. So basically we have like a mull to 3 with what we've got right now. Well, I guess we drew this off of our Stormfist Crusader, but these 4 cards that are doing literally nothing in our deck right now. Okay, Blacklands Paragon, that's terrible, so they can
revel with your king, wild and sovereign and free.
Go ahead, make a food into a creature.
Oh dear.
So I think I'm actually going to hold this Blacklands Paragon, because they have to double block Stormfist Crusader, and since they didn't attack, I imagine they're blocking here. And then Blacklands Paragon can actually make Stormfist Crusader kill both of their creatures here. Okay, and there's the Foulmire Knight, so we're getting punished for that line previously. But we can still Blacklands Paragon and then have Lucky Clover up. I'm totally fine making this trade. Oh, no blocks, huh. Okay,
Why do you cross me?
So we also have Once Upon a Time, but we can't cast it right now. So we're just going to go Lucky Clover. I don't think we're going to flash in Blacklands Paragon right here. So actually, that is a good way of pressuring their Oko down. But I think I like holding it for next turn and trying to Death Touch trick them. So let's just play 2 Clovers. Try to draw some cards next turn. Hopefully Stormfist Crusader survives, then we can hit a land. If not, Foulmire Knight will probably draw us a land, because that'll give us 4 looks total. 1, 2, 3, plus draw for turn. Note, of course, that we are up against the Temur Oko deck that I've just been loving lately. Oh, well, that's going to be a lot of damage. So that's 10 to our face. We go at 8. So losing 3 to Foulmire Knight doesn't sound too good here. That'll take us to 4. Spitting Swordmaster can help get us a decent amount of life here, though. Alright, let's put in a thinking. Always let him know that I'm thinking. It's just the good-mannered thing to do, I feel like. Alright, so I think I want to swing at Oko, and then Blacklands Paragon, and try to Death Touch their Questing Beast down. That'll also gain us 2 life. Wow, they're just letting this through? I was really hoping they were going to block that guy.
So hostile to the truth.
So that's really bad for us. Midnight Reaper can go block there. A Smitten Swordmaster. So I think we're going to Foulmire Knight to block one of these guys. And we'll shock this in, because that'll give us 4. Oh no, we don't need that. So we can Smitten Swordmaster, Curry Favor, drain them for 6, play Blood Crypt tapped, have Blacklands Paragon up to hopefully Death Touch their Questing Beast down. Foulmire Knight can Death Touch one of their food down. So far, each one of these cards has been gain 2, opponent loses 2 for 2, so... Alright. Got my faves over here. So this is super bad for us. Because Questing Beast is just going to wreck us now, because we can't really...
And all your cares are gone.
I mean, maybe they put this onto a... Maybe they put this onto a food? Is that too much to ask, that they put their buff onto a food? Oh, do it. Do it, buff your food. I can't block your Questing Beast anyway, you know? It doesn't even matter if you put it on Questing Beast, because that's getting through no matter what. Looks like they might be considering a 2-drop, because they're mousing over their food here, and they have Gilded Goose up. Or another 3-drop if they have another land, because they haven't hit their land for a turn yet. Oh, no! Ruined. Utterly ruined.
Your heart can overcome any challenge.
What are they up to right now? I'm just gonna start mousing over my cards too to mind game them. Dunk, 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 dunk. Is this a Domri? Oh, okay. Just stomping on our guy. No Goose attack, unfortunately. They might have been playing around this Black Lance Paragon because we didn't play Smitten Swordmaster. However, we really have... We have Murderous Rider, which can hit them down. We do not hit it. We can get rid of their Questing Beast. So the Innkeeper is not really working out too well for us here, but we did finally find a source of green. We have a super greedy mana base, so we don't have many basics to fetch up. So these 3 cards are now unlocked. Let's see. Can we even Once Upon a Time into anything that stops us from losing here? Oh yeah, we can hit Murderous Rider. Which, we can double target Questing Beast. There it is. Okay, so this is how you don't kill yourself off of Murderous Rider. Is you go... Unfortunately, we can't play Smitten Swordmaster afterwards. Oh yeah, we should wait until their turn, obviously. So we can just... I think we're just going to play Foulmire Knight here. Because we're not going to want to draw these cards, because we will just, like, kill ourselves. We're just going to play him as a Death Toucher. We've still got Murderous Rider mana up. We're going to kill 2 of their guys here. We have Foulmire Knight. I think I actually swing this... Nah. Like, they might let it through again, because they've been playing around us having that Black Lance Paragon. But, if they have another removal spell, we're going to need another blocker here, not to... Because I want to kill Questing Beast, plus...
Your new look is in.
Actually, you know... Yeah. I was thinking I was going to kill Questing Beast plus a food, but it was definitely right just to kill Questing Beast plus Oko. Alright, so let's make him attack. Yeah, so that was a bad play on my part. I should have just played this main phase, on my main phase, so that I could blow up some Planeswalkers. Okay, well that's really bad for us. So it looks like this deck is finally caught on. They could just kill us here. I don't know why they're doing that. Like, we are super dead. Yeah, that was an oops. I'll just do this. Give him the good game, and we will kill this guy and this guy. So if I didn't want to die here, I could multi-target the same. Like I could put one of these. One of the copies onto Questing Beast, and that would fizzle the initial swift end, because it would have no target, so I would not lose the 2 life. So I'd only lose 4 life there. But as it is, opponent had a super, super dead and just misclicked on their Sarkhan, so and we were going to die regardless of what we did there, pretty much. So, yeah, so that last time when I was playing that deck and everything was going terribly and we were getting awful draws, that's what it was supposed to look like, and that's what it usually does look like. I know that some of the people that are on that deck are experimenting with Mu Yanling, a couple of Mu Yanling, and I tried her out at first, and then I thought, oh, this is way too greedy, because now we have double blue in the deck as well as double green, and blue was a splash color to begin with. But with how good our mana is with Fabled Passage, Gilded Goose, and Once Upon a Time, and then this is one I didn't consider, being able to splash for not Fabled Passage, for splash in some interplanar beacons. It actually makes it pretty okay, I feel like, to have those, to be able to cast Mu. And I mean, it doesn't make double blue for Mu, but it can turn a green mana into a blue mana for her. So you can, like, Forest Island will cast Mu in that case. So, ooh, boy, opponent goes to 5, but is on the play, so if they have a deck that mulligans, well, they could do just fine here. Give them the old hello. Gonna lead on Innkeeper here, because we do have 3 very nice adventure cards. Okay, opponent is on Flash, which I don't think is a deck that mulligans super well, especially when we have all these cheap threats, and this is, like, both of these cards are card advantage. Ooh, and they have Fabled Passage. Does that deck even play Fabled Passage? Is that a thing that it does? Okay, so we can go... I don't think we attack here, because they are representing another Spectral Sailor, and them having 2 Spectral Sailors and having 1 Spectral Sailor is virtually identical, versus us having Edgewell Innkeeper versus not is a huge deal. So I think I'm actually just going to run this guy out for the card draw. Because I could, save it for 3 mana and then cast him to draw a card, but I'm drawing a card this way anyways while putting an extra body on the field. And then I'll just throw down Ebon Legion. They can't get an untapped card with Fabled Passage, so they're not able to counterspell right now. And the odds of them having a second Spectral Sailor, granted, those are okay, they're on the Flyers deck. Okay, well, I mean, they could have another Spectral Sailor. So I would rather keep this guy in play than potentially run it into that by accident. Alright, opponent finds a Plains off the top. Unfortunately, they didn't have that last turn, so they weren't able to get their stuff together. They can't block with Loyal Pegasus here. So I think we're going to... we're going to play this, shock it in. And I think our play is going to be play Order of Midnight and then Smitten Swordmaster for Curry Favor. Because that actually gets us further ahead on the board than we get from just pumping Knight of the Ebon Legion. Maybe it's right to not shock that in and go Edgewell Innkeeper, Smitten Swordmaster. We're definitely considering flashing something in there, it looked like. Or maybe Rally of Wingzing. Alright, so let's go Order. I don't think that it's going to be relevant to bring something back, because the opponent doesn't really have much in the way of removal. And then we'll go drain them for 3. And that gets our Knight of the Ebon Legion up to a 2/3, which is great for us. Not so great for our opponent. Alright, opponent gets in for 3, takes us to 14. I think I like swing with side quite a bit here because we have Black Lance Paragon in hand, so if they do something tricky, we can, like, sure, we'll lose a creature or two, but then we can Death Touch and gain life. 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 damage. We can bring it up to 9. That doesn't change the clock perceptibly because we're going to be able to field extra power, and Knight of the Open Legion's going to get buffed here. So I think we go... I don't think we shock in. I think we just go Knight and Stormfist Crusader, because that's evasive damage for next turn. They could have, like, Depose Deploy plus plus land and just get a Sephara down, in which case they're right back in this game. I think Executioner is not that. Oh, there we go, because it only cost them 3. Okay. So our Black Lance Paragon's going to be super handy here, because they can only block with Sephara, so whoever they block we can just kill. Actually, she doesn't... Yeah, she has lifelink, so we won't be able to just kill them here, I think. I guess see how they block and then we'll count. I think they're dead, right? Oh, they blocked the Innkeeper, okay. If they commit to this block, they just die, I'm pretty sure, because they can't... They're out of mana. So gain 7, go to 14. We have them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We take them to 1 if we pump Knight. Well, that's not 0. So, and actually, since they blocked Innkeeper, we can't trick them with Black Lance Paragon, which is unfortunate for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13 versus 14. Oof. Opponent surviving by the barest of margins here. I'm gonna pump this guy. So yeah, it was actually a big punt for me to attack with Edgewell Innkeeper. I wasn't thinking about the fact that I couldn't... Wait, are we just dead here? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're dead if we shock in and then they attack, so... Yeah, it was actually a big punt on our part. Pretty sure we just gave them the game. Like, they may miss lethal. But, yeah, attacking with that Edgewell Innkeeper and leaving Sephara on board because of it, just gave them the game. Yep. Okay, let's see. We were actually at 0, even if we had done that. So... Rally Wings actually got him there, so that was really great for them. We needed a Murderous Rider there, or... actually, I think we were exactsies with Murderous Rider, too. Oh no, we would have been at -2 with Murderous Rider because of the life loss. Although, granted, we could have just killed their Sephara. Let's see. Yeah, Murderous Rider would have just let us kill them because they wouldn't have been able to deal damage with Sephara. So, Opponent went to 5 and actually beat us there with the nice on-the-curve Sephara. Keep that. I don't like double Once Upon a Time, and I don't like Edgewell Innkeeper with no payoff, but... So I think we're actually taking Foulmire here. Now we're taking the Murderous Rider. We're gonna shock this in, play Knight. Next turn, shock in for Once Upon a Time, probably. Wow, Terramander. Just running the gamut of cards I haven't seen in forever. Alright, so let's go with the Stomping Ground, and then... I think we are just going to Once Upon a Time here, actually. And we're going to do it now, because our opponent might have counterspells, and we don't want to get counterspelled. Order of Midnight does let us shock down to 14, then Edgewell Innkeeper Order of Midnight next turn. How many knights do we have? Just 2, 3 with this guy. Yeah, let's take this one. Is this another flyer? Jeez. Is this the same person? Oh, there's another Order of Midnight. See, I think we're going to do this. We're going to go... Oh, geez, if we do that, we go to 10 here. That's so rough. And then we'll go even lower if we use Murderous Rider. Yeah, the number of shocks that we drew here is really bad for us. So I think we're just going to skip the card advantage. And this one can't block, but it does put some pressure on them, and it stops us from having to shock in there. And then this turn we can do something like Fabled Passage, Innkeeper, Murderous Rider. And this is where we wish that we had Legion's End of this deck. Ooh, So I think we Murderous Rider here, take some of their power off the board, stop them from being able to block. I guess they want to block, that's fine. Because, yeah, they can't kill our guy. Let's drop this down. And then I think we're going to play this and hold up Murderous Rider. And we're going to spend this one to do it. Not being able to block is really a bummer. Alright, so I'm just going to do this now. We do have Ember Cleave in this deck, I think. Oh, no, we don't. Okay, so we don't need double red. So we'll just get another black, because we have more black in our deck than green. Unbreak? Wow. Well, this is just all the cards that I never expect to see. Well, let's throw this guy down. Or wait, no, we can... 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll go to 2 either way. We're dead either way to Rally of Wings. This guy does give us lifelink. I think the way into this is Murderous Rider, hope not to die this turn. Because if they have Rally of Wings, we die no matter what. Oh, Empyrean Eagle also kills us. There you go. So yep, should have held that up, but I would have gone to 0 either way, I believe, if I'm mathing it out right. Alright, so I'm going to go in here. I don't think that this guy is good here. It's felt very meh. Lucky Clover feels a little better, because it doesn't take green, so then the only green in our deck is Once Upon a Time, which then it's basically a black-red deck with better mana than black-red would have, because we have Once Upon a Time. And I feel like in instances where it's good, Blacklands Paragon is so much upside. Like coming in and killing a questing beast and then gaining you life is super relevant. Takes a little bit of the edge off of Murderous Rider too. Let's just put in a couple of Stompy Giants. So, yeah, 22 lands. 22 lands felt pretty good there, I feel like. 1.9 average mana cost, so that's really good. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that for now, because I would like to jump on to the next one. So let's try the Royal Tomb now. I'm not going to be able to finish my black and green spells if I do that, though. Okay, so maybe we do one more with Jund Knights and try to finish that quest off. No, I'm sorry, I'm way off center there right now. Having this microphone here now, right off the screen is, sorry for the bump there, is really messing with like where I sit relative to my computer. So, fine. Off center somewhat frequently, I apologize for that. This looks great because of the Once Upon a Time. We should probably throw Questing Beast in this deck. I mean, it's double green, but it's just so good that it's like, you know, play a black-red deck that also has Questing Beast in it, because Once Upon a Time makes your mana better and all that. Alright, so we're going to lead... going to lead on Passage here. Then on our turn, our next turn, we can Once Upon a Time. Oh wait, we do have 1-drops in this deck. Yeah, we have Knight of the Ebon Legion. And Foulmire Knight, but I don't want to cast that turn 1. Yeah, I was thinking that I wasn't going to Once Upon a Time because I just pulled out our 1-drops, but we still have Knight of the Ebon Legion, so that was a huge... literally no reason to play it out that way. Okay, well, let's see what we find. Would not have found it anyways. Probably wasn't going to take the Foulmire Knight there, and actually getting the I think the Blacklands Paragon here is alright, because that lets us kill their guy. Did I go to my turn without... Okay. We're gonna skip this one up because I'm not paying anywhere near enough attention to the game to between that and then I didn't crack the Fabled Passage because I was talking about how I just misplayed so badly with the Once Upon a Time. So we're just gonna wrap that one up quick and go to a new game. And actually, that was a pretty good start if I hadn't made those two enormous mistakes right off the bat. Alright, so we can hope to find another land off the top. But I'm going to keep this, and I think I'm going Embereth into Overgrown Tomb because it'll come into play. So do I want Knight on 1, or do I want one of these guys on... Oh boy. Well, Knight on 1 doesn't really do anything. Oh, that was a great draw off the top. Thank you. Let's cast it right this time. Okay, so Stomping Ground doesn't give us our second black. So I think we want Lock Twain here, so that we can Murderous Rider. It looks like we're probably getting turn 2 Oko'd here, in which case turn 2 Oko... I mean, turn 2 Oko on the draw, you're going to be fighting from behind pretty much constantly. Or maybe turn 2 Scions. Wow, this deck took off in the last week, like... assuming that's what's going on here, but that's definitely... Oh, Narset. Okay, so this might be Temur Fires, then. Because I haven't seen Narset in the... Yep, that would be it. So, Stormfist Crusader is very bad now. So I think we're just going to end of turn Black Lance. Hopefully they have no more lands. That would be awesome. Nope, they have lands. Shoot. More Narsets.
Past, present, and future are bound by threads. Hone your prowess.
I'm guessing that our really bad land sequencing is going to have a severe negative effect on our ability to win this game. But we will see. Alright, so I think I just murder Goose, kill Narset here. Like, murdering Goose doesn't feel great, but Narset... I mean, Goose can give them mana, which they usually have things to spend their mana on in these Fires decks, like they have mana sinks. So that turns them off of whatever sinks they might have, like Cavalier of Flames or whatever, and then takes them off of an additional, you know, get the best card off the top 5 or top... Is she 4 or 5? 4. She's an Impulse. Oh. No play after that. Alright. Okay, so the question is, what do we put down here? Like, do we go Clover... I think I'm going Clover Knight and trying not to overextend too much. I really don't like Stormfist Crusader in this matchup because the opponent can play spells, they can play 2 free spells per turn, so Stormfist actually works against us in that case. This deck in general, between Narset turning off the card draw for us and Fires being so good for them, is just like, that is pretty miserable for us. I'm surprised they didn't play their Sarkon. Oh wait, no, they can still do a second thing. Okay. That was their last... Oh, it's only 4 to activate. Alright. Well, that's a thing. So that's a 5/5. Let's try drawing 2 cards and see if that gets back into this game. Not so as you'd notice, really. Alright, let's make sure that we can finish our quest. Because, yeah, this Hellkite... So there's their mana sink. This Hellkite just eats our entire side for lunch. Alright. We got him to 9. Got halfway there. Alright. So I think that was probably enough for our quest, right? Because we got Paragon, Foulmire twice, Murderous Rider, Curry Favor. Alright, nice. Big pile of gold, pack, cool stuff. Okay, so, learned a lot of things that didn't work in that deck, but again, small sample size, so you can't make definitive conclusions about that, but definitely very clunky and not coming together in the cohesive way that we would want it to. So, let's try another deck that's probably very clunky and not coming together in any cohesive way. I don't think I'm going to have time to get to the... Actually, let me check what time I start work tomorrow here quick. Opponent goes first. Ooh, we have no black in this hand. But we can cast Scions. We can cast Improbable Alliance into Scions, so... That's pretty good. And hopefully we can find black off of... Oh, wow, that's not looking good at all. But if we can get an Improbable Alliance machine going... Oh, okay. I see... Basic Mountain, I always think, okay, there's black, but the worst black we could find. So I think we're going to Vantress Improbable Alliance. Okay, so where is my work schedule? Probably stay up a little extra late if we want to... Oh, geez. You know what's really bad against questing beasts is a bunch of 1/1 tokens and 1/3 death touchers. So yeah, being able to have gotten this into play untapped probably, I mean, unless they had 2 questing beasts, that probably would have been the difference between having a chance and just getting utterly raffle stomped here. But, I mean, let's go to 14.
Our bond was forged in battle.
What is the strategy here?
I think we got rid of this Scions. I think we get rid of the Thrill, actually. They kind of do the same thing, but Scions leaves a body behind that takes a couple hits off of Questing Beast to kill. I mean, they could just swing both at this, but if they have a removal spell for the fairy. Okay. Alright, I don't start until kind of late tomorrow, so I could definitely stay up a little late. Jeez. I've heard some people say that this format's a little on the swingy side. I don't know if I believe that. Yeah, I feel like getting that. If that Loch Twain were a swamp, we probably would have been in a much better spot. Double Questing Beast, of course, wouldn't have mattered, but not being able to Thought Erasure them there definitely was a big problem. Well, this looks like a Thought Erasure. Feels 2018, man. No, that's not how you do it. I mean, granted, I did it wronger than that a minute ago while I was explaining how to do it, because I wasn't thinking, I was talking. So maybe the Cat's Pajamas is on the other side, also streaming, also making suboptimal choices. Wow. Once Upon a Time for Watery Grave. I don't think that's a line that I've seen before. Alright, looks like we're getting Salt-Eyed. So that means probably Oko. Opt always on time, of course. Alright, see what you got. Which one of these do you think we're taking? Oh, good. Surveil away Drakaseth. Oops, I meant to say nice, but I said hello instead. Well, here goes probably the Scions. Yep, that feels bad. Keeping them would have been A+. Oh, Thought Erasure bug right there. Come on. And yeah, like, running this out is obviously right because they have 2 more Thought Erasures, so we can't protect them if they're in our hand.
I will learn what nobody yet knows.
I think we drop Opt here. Now we're on so few cards, I think we drop Thrill Possibility. Because we want to hit 5 for our reanimation spells. And, oh, well that's super rude, but it does get us 1 closer to 5. You only have a little bit of red in this deck. We have double blue already, so let's take Swamp. I guess if we'd taken another island, we could then Opt, but they have... Well, I guess they're probably taking our Thought Erasure here, not our Opt, right? Yep. Well, let's try to find something that's not a land. That's a land. I think we have 23 lands in this deck. Oh, well. Goodbye, Drakaseth. We were so close. So on one hand, they take our Opt, and we don't get anything out of it. I think this was correct because that gave us the chance to find a 4 or less drop, and then play it. I think I like Tomebound here. It gives us a loot immediately. I definitely thought that was going to be a counterspell. Just about lost it. Do we just leave? Like, I don't think the Steam Vents really does much. Except for maybe draw us into... Like get us mana to cast Agent of Treachery. So I think that we get rid of the land there. Given that we already have a Drakaseth in here, we don't need to have this in our graveyard. Baby Krasis. Baby Krasis are so cute. I kind of feel like if I were my opponent, I would have wanted to make a land, or make a food there, and then play this a turn later so it could trade with our guy if they wanted to, or... Ooh, okay, that I like. So this won't trigger this turn, that's the problem. But we are almost at 6 lands for... I mean, I guess we could have thrown back the Agent of Treachery, but against this deck, I like Agent of Treachery a lot. Yep. I Tomebound Lich. So that Improbable Alliance is a lot worse now. But given they are at 1 card in hand, I feel like assuming our guy survives isn't too big of an ask. So I guess that's why they went 2/2 Krasis, because they knew that... Well, no, they didn't know that, because they must have drawn it either off the Krasis or... There's Bond of Revival. So let's select Drakaseth. Got there. All right. We fought through the triple Thought Erasure questing beast hand. Oh, and in 2 more game wins, we will get the Royal Scions style. So that will be nifty, because we're playing them all the time, because I love that card. God, blue-green is just so good right now. Like, it's kind of nauseating, honestly. Like... It's just, like, green, like, basically green is the color that does all the things right now, and then if you add blue, you also get, like, Oko, so you might as well, and you get Krasis and stuff. It's, like, it's just such a, like, insultingly powerful color combination right now. Alright, so let's lead on Vantress, because that gets us anything we want next turn untapped with Blood Crypt. I'm guessing Forest. Oh. I'm guessing Mountain Light up the stage. There we go. Well, infinite 1/1s is pretty good against that, so... I think we're going Shock. Question is, do I actually want to go Improbable Alliance here? Because it's going to be a few turns before I can get anything out of it. Because I'm probably going to want a Thought Erasure next turn. But I mean, next turn they're playing a Steamkin anyways, so we're not really going to interrupt their curve by playing Thought Erasure most likely. Okay. I think we're going to go tapped Steam Vents, Thought Erasure. I guess it's actually a little more correct to go Thought Erasure, tapped Steam Vents. Vomit. Okay, I've got a Steamkin in play. This will turn Steamkin into a 2/2. We obviously aren't taking them off of Frenzy. Well, if they miss land for a turn, we are taking them off Frenzy. But they'd have to miss on the next 3 draws. So, yeah, I feel like it's probably... It's probably take Cavalcade, hope they kind of brick. I think I'm actually taking this, because the Cavalcade isn't as powerful for them as it could be, just because of the fact that we're going to have a decent supply of 1/1s, hopefully, that we can block with. Oh, I left that Fabled Passage on top when I should not have. Because I was talking to myself. I mean, if they only play one spell here, we can just concoct their Runaway Steamkin away. And it looks like that's what's happening, because they drew a mountain. Okay, I like this line. I mean, we have nothing in our graveyard to... I mean, okay, getting the 5th land is nice for being able to get something back with Bond, but we don't have anything to get back yet. But... yeah, okay, let's take that guy. And then next turn we can Thrill of Possibility on anyone's turn to trigger Improbable Alliance. There's the Frenzy, so we gotta get this going quick. Oh, this is really nice, actually. So we'll go... we can do this without shocking ourselves, which is great. So I'm going to search up a... Gonna do this, search up a basic island, then we can do... Yeah, we can do all the things that way. This is basically a Surveil 1, which was fine here because we don't want this. The things that are in their hand aren't going to matter at any point. Then we can opt, now that we've surveilled. And actually, I'm gonna... I guess I should have done this first, so that... Oh, but that wasn't a Scry, it was a Surveil. Right, okay. So we'll do this. Grab an island. Then we'll opt. Like that a lot. Can't play it this turn, unfortunately, but we can Thrill of Possibility, if that seems good. Get rid of the Bond of Revival, which isn't doing anything. I feel like we kind of want to hold the Bond of Revival, though, honestly, because... Ooh, okay, well, we're going to do this now, because that will save our Steamkin. Get rid of this. Feels kind of bad, but we save our Steamkin, we draw some cards. Oh, geez, that feels awful. Get a 1/1. So yeah, that's about the biggest feel bad. Wait. So if we cast the Improbable Alliance, then we have 3, 6. So we can't quite Drakaseth off that. But we can do this and start pressuring their life total a little bit. And also opt. Actually, I think we're gonna... Let's just make a bunch of blockers. That seems good. Okay. So we're gonna Improbable Alliance. Royal Scions.
What is my strategy here?
Toss the Steam Vents because we're just hoping that this guy survives and that'll let us cast Drakaseth next turn. I think we have enough fairies that we go in with Steamkin here. Because they can't have a 3 damage spell as far as I know on top. And if they... I mean, if they block and kill our Runaway Steamkin, like, that means we can't cast Drakaseth next turn, but also it means that their Spitfire's dead and they don't have any pressure on us right now. It seems like they're really thinking about the line of shock our face, block with Spitfire. Assuming that shock's on top, which they've hit 2 so far, so odds that are pretty slim, 2 and 43. I guess you also have to account for the fact that shock has a slight chance of being the card that's in their hand, so slightly less than that, I guess. That Connive Concoct is doing a lot more work than I expected. I mean, if we hadn't spent it on that, we could have, you know, looted away Drakaseth and then gotten it into play, which would have wrecked them, but taking away their Steamkin there was pretty important, because that was going to be a ton of damage at our face. And then they had Experimental Frenzy in hand, so they could have just started going off with that. Made our lives miserable. This seems like a disconnect, honestly. I don't think this is a BM thing. I think this is just our opponent. Okay, well, they're mossing over our Castle Vantris, so they are here. Alright, looks like we're hitting them. Oh, nope, they had another timeout. Let's see. While we're waiting, I'm just gonna take care of something in the background. Coming up just short of hardcasting Drakaseth off of our opponent's runaway Steamkin. Like, that does feel a little bit like, oh, if we die now, then like what could have been. But it will be hard for them to get past 4. I mean, they could just time out and not let us do this. I mean, granted, this will not come in with haste. It doesn't have haste. It gets haste from Bond of Revival. But win or lose and time out or not time out, we got to see this deck do some sweet stuff, so that's cool. Just admire some art while we're waiting. I've been using this sleeve a lot, even on like non-black-red decks or black-white decks, because of the like a lot of my decks have like the Royal Scions or something else that seems kind of like knightly or stately or royal like that, and it just seems like that's a good, like the Orzhov exquisite sleeve or whatever it's called, the animated one, is just a good just feels really stately and proper and majestic and super rich. That's a terrible hand. This is like the corporate needs you to identify the difference between these two pictures. Like, this one is much better, because we can at least shock ourselves repeatedly, but I think that's okay. Our opponent went tap Castle Locktway in turn 1, so we can... Oh, okay, well, Mountain after that means... Yikes. That we are probably dead to Dreadhorde Butcher, because, like, do we even have anything that interacts with Dreadhorde Butcher? Like, if we can cast Connive Concoct this following turn, sure. Other than that, it's like count to 5 and cast Bond of Revival. Pay 2. We are so dead. Like, we are just so dead here to our opponent's start. Well, I guess we can next turn shock in again, go to 11, Bond of Revival opt, have a chump blocker for Dreadhorde Butcher. Opponent after my own heart. Unfortunately, this won't trigger our Improbable Alliance. Because we do the draw on their turn, not ours. Well, another land is good, and it's a land that will come into play untapped without dealing extra damage to us. So we're going to go to 8 here at best. I mean, if we can, like... So we can actually, our turn opt, their turn Thrill of Possibility, get 2 blockers, be able to... I mean, I guess we're going to be... Oh, man. Evolving Wilds being exactly the same as Fabled Passage there, so that's cool. Alright, so I think we're actually going to Discovery Dispersal on our turn, play Castle Vantris, Actually, we're going to play this Fablable... Do we have anything on the bottom? We have 2 cards we really don't want to draw on the bottom, but if we shuffle the Drakaseth, we have a chance of getting that to the top and then Discovery dispersaling it away. So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get black here. It could just be that we need Murderous Rider in this deck. Like, that's not out of the question. We can also Thought Erasure them, but they're going to draw 3 cards on the next turn, and so our ability to actually take them off of anything relevant, that seems pretty slight. Can we find Drakaseth off the top? Nope. Looks like opponent had a stop in there, actually. Can we find Drakaseth off the top? Nope. And nope. Oh, we're triggering Improbable Alliance off of... Oh, so it's actually Aristocrats, it looks like, because they have Mayhem Devils. Well, there goes one of those guys. So we go to 2. Why did that come into play tapped and then untap? So I think I'm actually going to opt here. Try to find a Drakaseth that I can get rid of. Oh boy. Let's see if we can hit it. I mean, hitting a Drakaseth won't actually save us, because we're gonna... Well, that Drakaseth that we put away would have been mighty nice to have, wouldn't it? Yeah, and this deck that we're up against is one of the decks that just utterly demolishes decks like ours that don't really interact. So, the start of, like, nothing versus the start of on the play Dreadhorde Butcher is, like, the nightmare scenario for us. Well, getting all those draws and not hitting a Drakaseth after we shuffled that one that we put on the bottom back in was pretty not great for us. So some kind of White Knight's Brew. I like the idea of lots of... lots of 1/1s against them, so I think trying to get Improbable Alliance down on turn 2 and then have chump blockers will be good for us. Okay, it looks like it's actually White Weenie. Definitely White Weenie. Well, 1/1s are good there as well. Oh, geez. We are probably dead. I mean, we can play it out for sure, but their 1/1s just became 2/2s. If we'd been able to take the play there and Thought Erasure that guy away after getting out our Improbable Alliance, that would have felt probably pretty winnable, because we can start just chumping every turn or threatening to trade with their guys because they all have 1 toughness. But yeah, once they hit 2... Okay, so we can't cast Thrill of Possibility here, but we can Discovery Dispersal and Thought Erasure. So these will all help us get red mana and things that we can relevantly do with the red mana, so those are both nice. Oh boy. Well, we did beat red deck once before, even though that is the sort of deck that seems like it should be able to pretty much dismantle us immediately. We can take their cavalcade, so being on the play here was very important. We can also take the light up the stage and take them off of 2 cards, but I think that... Wait, I clicked the... I definitely did not think that I clicked that card there. I'll go back and watch the replay, but yeah, that was definitely not what I thought I was clicking on. I'm not sure if that was me not seeing it clearly or if that was the interface being very uncooperative. So okay, we'll give it one more try. Try to not have that happen again. Because that seemed decent for us being on the play there, because we can get rid of the cavalcade. They get to draw 2 off of their 1 mana divination, but we can hopefully start fighting our way back in. You know, if we have a bunch of chances to surveil into a Tomebound Lich, which is pretty good against them. Okay, so we have make a bunch of guys. That's nice. Yeah, Bond of Revival, which hopefully they'll be able to find something to do with it. Ooh. We cannot play Thought Erasure here, importantly. Alright, so looks like we're going to go turn 2. Okay, well, there's a thing to ditch. That's pretty good. Alright, so let's get this guy down. Oh. Mountain Island Negate. This has been a weird night. We're running into a bunch of things that we just never see here. Okay, well, I think I would love to jam Scions here, but their play pattern so far makes me feel like I'm going to be better off going to their end step, playing Thrill of Possibility. We can discard Drakaseth as part of the cost, so they can't... Like, we want to get the guy in the graveyard. And we can do that guaranteed here. If they counter this, then we can go Scions and try to find black mana, which will be really important for us. Okay, they did not counter it. Well, I think we found enough Bond of Revivals that we can hopefully jam one through whatever they have, so... I think I actually, like, shock this in... I think I actually like Tomebound Lich here. If it gets countered, that's fine. If not, we can try to loot into a land... And this cannot get negated, unlike these two. Ugh. That's not at all what I meant to do. I forgot that if you rearrange cards while you have that effect on the stack, it will just discard the card that you pulled over. So I think first thing I'm doing here is... I wonder if we're in the Improbable Alliance mirror here. I think I get rid of Thrill here. And then I like slow rolling the Bond of Revival a little bit so that I can see what they've got or bait out more counterspells. Main deck Mystical Dispute. Wow. But yeah, this lets us either resolve a card or...
I lead the way, but my brother knows of power.
or eat multiple counterspells.
A quest of mystery.
Okay, so we now have as many Bond of Revivals as they have cards in hand. That seems alright. Imagine Brazen Bower's going at the Scions because they just put the Stompy Giant at the Scions. Yep. But they are now on double red as their only mana up, so... I mean, I believe that... Yeah, so we go 4, 7, 13, 14... Yep, so we're just gonna do that. What do we do with Scions here? I think we use them for lifelink, actually. So let's just...
Your heart can overcome any challenge.
Alright, so we'll deal... Okay. Got there. Got there through main deck Mystical Dispute, which feels incredibly rude, but also really good because, I mean, we were just talking about how good blue is right now. Lots of decks are playing blue. That seems totally fine. Okay, alright, so I think that we concluded that this is pretty much a pile. The two plans synergize... I'm gonna have to restart the client, I'll try to remember that. The two plans actually synergize decently well. Our deck is not at all ideally constructed right now, because we don't have some of the cards we want. But, I mean, you know, it was alright. It got there a couple times. It was doing the reanimation thing. As I said, we might just want Murderous Rider in here, although that stretches our mana base a little bit. So if we went, like, 2 Tomebound Lich... 3 Murderous Rider, pull out like the Discovery Dispersals or something, I don't know. Maybe something like this is a little better so we have a little bit more interaction in our main deck, and then I guess we probably want... I think we probably pull the Locktwain. I don't see us activate that often, especially because we're shocking in so much and we're going to be under a lot of pressure, so... I think that just going in one more swamp instead, because we actually saw that Castle Locktwain really slowed us down in one game, and it seems like the number of games where we activate that's going to be pretty low. I wonder if we actually have enough red in this deck to justify double basic Mountain. Because we're never, like, hardcasting Drakaseth is not a thing that we should be building our mana base around. Like, a lot of decks run Drakaseth that are, like, green-black, or green-black-blue, don't even have red. I mean, there was that game where we were almost able to cast it off of our opponent's Steamkin, but, again, not a thing that I think we should be building our deck around. So, yeah, just change the main deck a little bit, give us a little bit of interaction. The unfortunate thing about Murderous Rider is, of course, when it dies, it... doesn't go into your graveyard, it goes under your deck. So you can't, like, you know, do a Hail Mary, reanimate your Murderous Rider to get some lifelink or something like that, or just a extra blocker. But, I mean, that's... If you're making that line, you're probably not in a great position anyways. So, anyway. Now that we've given that one a bit of a run, let's go in here and just... forward to this deck. Worthy Knight's not a card that I'm super sold on. It seems good. I mean, we've seen how good Hero of Precinct 1 is. Similar effect, but with Knights. It's more restrictive and less restrictive, right? Because it has the tribal restriction, but it doesn't have the deck building restriction of everything should be multicolored if possible. But I'm only forging one of those, so I feel alright with that. 3 Midnight Reapers, that's a bit of a hit to your wild cards, obviously, but Midnight Reaper is good in so many decks, and a lot of them are decks that I really like. So... that feels totally fine to me. Let's give it a try. And I mean, I could definitely go in the one extra Cavalier of Night too, because that's just a good... Wait. I might actually have multiple Cavalier of Nights and just not put them in. I think I only have the one. But yeah, that's one that, you know, it's such a good card. You can you don't have to feel bad about making that one. Hey, this is decent. If our opponent puts pressure down turn 1, we can Foulmire Knight. Otherwise, we can, you know, maybe save it for drawing a card. I think you probably just slam it down, though, right? Definitely slamming it down. Alright, that is enough lands. We can stop drawing those now. We can cast literally everything in our deck. Worthy Knight would be fantastic here. Okay. I'll take that trade. Ah, okay, it's the Afterlife Value-y deck. Rankle is the only non-knight creature in this deck, I believe, and he's there because he's a good curve topper for aggressive black decks, and also we can... Yep, this is going to be really hard. We can also... Ooh, man, especially if we keep drawing all these lands. Once we start getting our tokens out, we can start throwing those away to edict our opponent's... Oh, jeez. I've heard that being on the play is really good in this format. Alright, so they sack their Enforcer. We sack our Midnight Reaper. We draw a card. They get a 1/1. The Afterlife on this is the thing that's going to wreck us, because otherwise our Rankle would be able to at least clear one of these two guys off. But now it just gets rid of their 1/1. Yeah, I think we still do this. Obviously, we won't make them sack if they don't block here, but blocking seems like a pretty good... So we can do that, and they can activate Ayara. Yep. So it's probably actually righter to get both these guys down and try to get rid of their Ayara using our Cavalier of Night. Oh, we are insanely dead. This was a really, really strong curve. We had a strong curve as well, but our opponent went first, and in these aggressive matchups, where both of you have, like, pretty much perfect... I guess we missed turn 2, but, you know, pretty much perfect 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a good game. That's going to be really, really hard to fight through. Although if we'd had a Worthy Knight for turn 2, we'd have actually been in a pretty decent position there, I feel like, because of the extra, the amount of extra value, and, ooh, not perfect, but okay. Double Temple when we only have, I think we have 3 of these in our deck. Not great here. I really don't think I like this guy here, with what our curve looks like. Although we have a bunch of knights in our hands. That is some decent reach. I think I want to find... Like, I don't think the upside is high enough to justify keeping it there when our hand is, like, pretty slow right now and you want to speed it up. Oh, well. That's a way of doing it. There's a good chance that they just kill it here, but that's okay. Well, that's not a kill spell, although it also doesn't cost mana, so there's that too. Double Lovestruck Beast token, maybe? Yep. I'm gonna do this. Oh, Yeah, that was wrong. I was thinking I can hold up either one of these, but Blacklands Paragon's almost definitely the better play. And then this takes us off of Rankle unless we top deck a black source. Well, if we do this, we have a better chance of... So, this gives us a chance of drawing black for Rankle. Or an untapped land for Rankle, which we did. So now we can either... Okay, so I think we're going to put down a Foulmire Knight. Get a 1/1. Play Temple of Silence. Scry. Go to the bottom. They're having these two Lovestruck Beasts for the tokens makes Rankle so much worse here. Maybe it's actually right to go in with Worthy Knight, see if they double block, then Blacklands Paragon to kill both of them. Because we would get a knight, we'd get a token off of that. Plus, okay, so they're going to draw a card off of this Lovestruck Beast. That's not great for us. And then Lovestruck Beast can't attack. Can still block. Yeah, they don't go in because the Foulmire Knight makes sense. Boy, this is super awkward. I wonder if the play is going with Worthy Knight, because we can get Worthy Knight back off of Order of Midnight. Okay, so this stops them from... Oh, no, it doesn't, because they have a Innkeeper now. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, we don't have any really good plays here. Like, our way into a match like this is to outgrind them, and they have Edgewall Innkeeper, and we haven't found any removal yet. I mean, our removal's been Rankle, but they've had a bunch of tokens. So... Oh, yuck. We are in a terrible position.
The sounds of the wild.
So they can either make it a 7/7 Trample Vigilance? Just Trample.
I'd get out of the way if
Okay, so
I...
2 6/6 Tramplers. I'll take the 6, I guess. Alright, so we can actually go... Worthy Knight into Rankle. This does put them in a really awkward spot. Okay, so that means they lose their Questing Beast. Or not Questing Beast, Lovestruck Beast.
Like a zoo.
Let's discard a card. I think I'm okay with the draw. Let's see, what are our life totals? 13 and 10? Yeah, sure. Get rid of a swamp. Well, Rankle's doing his Rankle thing. Opponent discards a Lovestruck Beast. Are they just gonna... Do they have Order of Midnight and they're just gonna get it back and they figure might as well do it like this? Okay. Nice. Was not expecting the finality out of the adventure deck, but it's pretty good. Alright, and this costs a total of 5 mana, including itself, right? Yeah, so we cannot do that, but we can go... Yeah, we don't have enough black to do both of these sides.
I've seen too many species.
Should have done that on their turn, I guess, but, you know, we didn't. Oh, we actually do have enough black for this. I think I like doing these two. Don't think there's a reason to keep that in hand. Another Order of Midnight would be fantastic. Man, that surprise Fine Finale out of nowhere was a huge beating. Because we had a pretty respectable board presence there, and a really good value engine. Because, you know, Murderous Rider, Knight of the Ebon Legion, Order of Midnight, 3 tokens that we can sack to Rankle to make them edict whatever board presence they get. So what we have right now, if we double pump, we can take them to 3. I can't imagine how good their hand... Like, they must have an insane hand right now if they discarded that Lovestruck Beast earlier. Because that's a phenomenal card for them. Like... I guess we can start activating Arden Veils. If we get a land, we can Murderous Rider and Arden Veil, although I'd rather get something that's not a land. Order of Midnight's probably the best draw we can get here. Like, get back Worthy Knight, play Worthy Knight, play Order of Midnight, have Murderous Rider. I don't know if I have enough mana to do all that, but, you know. Our opponent just... Oh, well, there's Rankle. So I think we play him, and then attack and pump. Make him discard. I mean, this is assuming that we don't get Murderous Ridered, which seems very unlikely. They've got to have something in their hand that's good, right? And that seems like a really good candidate. Finality, half of this is a sorcery, right? Yeah, they're both sorceries. So we actually take them to 2 if we make everyone draw here. Just gonna take care of something here again while our opponent seems to be tanking. Nope. 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 5. I think I like this, because I don't think we can lose next turn. Could be wrong about that. Let's make them discard. Let's take them to 2. Let's not everyone sacrifice, because that sounds pretty bad. Hold that one in hand. So I could be completely wrong. Clearly I don't know exactly what this deck list is doing, because it has Fine Finale in there, and they keep... Well, they discarded... So I think that they're just disconnected at this point. That's my guess. Because when was the last time we saw them take a game action? I do not remember, honestly. And I mean, it could also be a like a rage quit on their part, or the baby's crying, or something like that. It's not necessarily that there's something wrong with the server or server client communication or anything like that, or their own client, but that's something like that has been happening with increasing frequency, that people are getting booted from games and can't log back in. So good chance that's what we're seeing there. All right. What is this card? Huh. It's like Selesnya, sort of like Selesnya Heroic Reinforcements, but without the good part, which is the part that makes the tokens. It could be good in, your token go wide build, stuff like that, gain a bunch of life, getting for a bunch of extra damage out of nowhere. But it's not a deck that I really know much about, so can't speak to how good that is. I really got time for a couple more games here to see how this one feels. Definitely felt good in that last game. We had pretty sure we had some big misplays there, but we got to see it work for sure. I'm going to keep this because Temple... We only have like 4 planes in this deck. And actually that's probably too many because we have a couple of Castle Ardenvale as well. But I mean, we play 4 of them to draw them, right? It's a good chance that this hand's going to be too slow against Gruul stuff. But I guess we'll find out. If we can draw a removal spell, that would be awesome. Pelt Collector. So not adapting Guardian this turn. Looks like their Domri's ambushing us. Oh, they're thrashing us. Alright, I think we're playing this, and then probably hoping to trade it out to draw us into another source of black. Yeah, well, we're not walking into that one. Yeah. We don't want to draw a card that badly. But I would have preferred that they had, thrashed this guy or something. Well, we drew a card, technically. I don't hate just continually drawing those guys. I think this is a no attacks. I really don't know. We're so far behind on our... Well, I guess they're missing land drops. Our lands have been very slow and clunky, but theirs have been not showing up, so... I think I'm okay throwing this guy away to turn off the Pelt Collector, which is going to keep getting bigger. Save us some damage. Draw a card. Try to find another land so that we can double spell this turn. Wow. Huh. I've never even heard of this card before. Oh, Palmyre Knight's a pretty good draw there, because we can kill the one that's not adapted. Oh, we don't have enough black. Oh, man. Yeah, our colors pretty much got us here. If you can go to 7, that guy attacks us down to... guess I should have done that on their turn. But yeah, we're so far behind here. The Temple of Silences have not been treating us terribly well. Yes, we could have gone to 1 there and then died the next turn. Yeah, Temple of Silences are, well, okay, we've drawn 2 of 3 that we have really early in multiple games now, so that's not a statistically significant, like that's a statistical anomaly. That shouldn't happen too often. Maybe it's right to go down to 2. Actually, let's go to 2 right now, come to think of it, because we have so little white in the deck. And we have the Castle Ardenvales too, which are additional sources of white that, you know, give us value on the back end. Do we just want to forge those last 2 Godless Shrines? Let's do it. On one hand, it's like... what did I accidentally pull out just now? I have no idea. Okay, we only have the 1 there. How many cards, how many lands do we have now? I must have pulled out a land by accident. Oh, we pulled out 3 temples and added 1 shrine, right. Or added 2 shrines. Okay. So let's get 1 more basic swamp. And I'm using this one because I wanted ones that were kind of like quest looking, like somewhere that you might pass through on some sort of knightly endeavor. I guess the ones with the banners, because there's both a swamp and a plains with banners on them, like pennants. That also seems appropriate, but it seems a little bit too easy, I feel like. Well, this is much better than Godless Shrine right here, isn't it? I have so many really... Like, I have a bunch of things that I can cast for 1 here. So, I'm going to keep that. And our mana curve is pretty trim here for the most part. Like, we have a 5-drop. I think 5 4s and everything else is 3 and less. Yeah, that's a good one. We've seen Vantress. Okay, so I'm guessing this is going to be Grixis Fires. I think I'm going to do this. Let's use our mana efficiently, not overcommit to the board. Still nothing. So this is going to be an attack and pump. Cool beans. Playing a turn behind, but they had tap land, and then no play on 3, so... Right on the Grixis part. Yep, Grixis Fires. So they have nothing in 1, 2, 3. I imagine this means that they have Fires and absolute gas after that point. Taking Ritual of Sodus here, but I haven't seen Ritual in... Actually, it's not Ritual.
Mind and thought with thoughtfulness before action.
So we're not going to want to Foulmire Knight while she's out. I don't want to spend the extra damage to kill her. But we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, take them to 5, or we can take them to 7 and get Narset down to a level where she can't. Do a thing again.
Contain your rage.
Don't think I like running out Foulmire right here. Alright, so... Maybe it was right to run out Foulmire, because that means that this Knight of the Ebon Legion plus Pump is lethal, and I can't get out Black Lance Paragon here. I'm sure they didn't find anything good in the top 7. Right? Wow. I haven't seen main deck Legions out in a hot minute. And we can't even get it back with Order of Midnight because they exile. Well, this is actually pretty good because that lets us... I think I like drawing a card here. For 3, and then flashing in a Paragon because we can't threaten lethal. Oh wait, yeah, we don't want to do that here, obviously. Because Narset's still out, we didn't kill her. Alright, so we're going to play Mono Black Draw Go Knights here, apparently is the deck that we're actually playing. Feels like Worthy Knight should be pretty good. If we could get it in this deck, because I don't think they really run much in the way of sweepers. They try to answer on a 1-to-1 basis. I mean, a lot of these decks have a wish board, and then they can, you know, wish up whatever and cast it with fires, because colors don't matter. Okay, so I guess we're doing this right now. Oh, I can do that right now. We're going to do this right now. All the things in our hand are pretty good. So, if they want to take the Foulmire Knight and leave us with Murderous Rider, Order of Midnight, that's fine. I don't think we want to kill their Narset with Murderous Rider. That seems like the worst thing we could do with our Murderous Rider. Yeah. I mean, you have nothing we can get back with that Order of Midnight, so it's not a terribly relevant card for us. They toss up a deck Bedazzle. Huh. Seems like that'd be pretty good against us. Alright. Draw that extra card. Oh, it's holding priority because I gotta stop there. Castle Ardenvale's pretty alright. We got 6 mana, so we can cast both of these guys here. And then have enough to either... So the awkward thing here is that if they kill this guy, then we can only bring them to 1 off of what we have. So is it actually right to run out the Foulmire Knight and make them deal with 2 guys or die? I'm guessing they're going to play a Chandra here. In which case Foulmire Knight is not very good. I mean, we're kind of dead either way to a Chandra, but maybe... I mean, I guess no, because like they can Chandra wipe the board, we could... Okay, so there's Fae of Wishes. It's pretty good. That's probably a Bolas or a Chandra. I mean, Chandra would be ideal if... Oh, Enter the God Eternals is also very good. Oh, and they just cry the Carnarium us. Also pretty good. That was your 2 turn or your 2 spells, however. Alright, so let's draw a card loose. Alright, we were really hoping to hit Rankle off the top there, because that would just kill them. They can kill their Narset with they can... I think this can hit Planeswalkers, right? Oh, it can't. Oh, oops. I thought this could hit Planeswalkers, but it can't. So playing that Foulmire Knight probably cost us the game here. Because we had an out of... Yeah. And this also targets us, so we can't fizzle the spell by killing our guy in response. I think I'm actually going to murder this guy because Rankle can still get us back into this game. I guess I could have bounced it there, but... Oh, well, that's a pretty good card. Let's see. What do we want to put into play with it? Probably get... This puts into play directly, right? Yeah, okay. So we can get back Worthy Knight and make a token off of Murderous Rider, or we can get back... I think getting back Knight of the Ebon Legion is the best bet here. That can also threaten the pump. So it protects our Sorin. So yeah, if we'd not played this Knight out, they could still enter the God Eternals on our Knight, our Knight of the Ebon Legion, but at least that wouldn't also take one of our guys off the table, because we could pump it up to a 4-5. One top, one bottom. That does not sound good. I mean, I guess they're drawing that card they had on the top anyways this turn. Because either it's a bad card and they scry it away, or the top card was the one that they kept and they would have drawn it anyways. That is probably going to be a good game. Oh, okay. Oh, we don't have enough for that. I guess we'll get rid of a swamp. Actually, get rid of plains because, you know, very little white in this deck.
My schemes are never ending.
I assume the next thing they're going to do is going to kill... There we go. Yep, that's not going to do it. So our punt there did not matter from the looks of it. I mean, well, it could have though, right? Because Rankle just kills them with haste and they can't react. They can't respond to it. So it would have been much more right of us to not have played anything out, because we knew about the Enter the God Eternals. And then, like, unless they had a creature they could target, but they didn't represent any other creature other than the token of God Eternals. Man, I'm moving all over the place today. Was that even the right direction? Yes, that was the right direction. There we go. So yeah, and we've got 3 Rankles, so we hadn't seen any yet. So we were sort of in keep digging through our deck, try to find Rankle mode. I wonder if it's actually right to go up to like 3 Castle Locktwain, 0 Castle Ardenvale. Because Ardenvale is a lot slower. And I think we want to be a little bit faster than that, and, you know, we don't like the coming into play tapped white mana and stuff like that. I think this is keepable, though. Like, it's pretty borderline. But we've got turn 1 Knight. If we draw an untapped land here, then we're in really good shape. Especially if it's a Godless Shrine, or a Plains, those can both work. Swamp is fine. Looks like we're getting Spectral Sailored or something on their turn. I like holding up for Black Lance here. Yep. think I'm going to pass, because if I get a land, I play this, they counter it. Actually, whether or not we get a land, we have Order of Midnight in play. If we do get a land, we can threaten to pump. And if they interact with this, that takes them off of the ability. And the fact that they can buff this if they have Essence Scatter, though, that makes that pretty sketchy. So that was probably not the right play. It's kind of outthinking myself there, I think. Murderous Rider will be great in a turn. If they have Brineborn, it trades with either one of these, and that's okay with me. Yeah, that's not ideal, but it's not the worst. I think we will just get that guy back, honestly. Do I like that, though? I think I prefer just playing this, honestly. You can't block their guy with it. Which, if Order of Midnight could block, it would actually be an absurdly good card, I think. Okay, so they are on traditional flash. These guys let us draw out instant speed, which is quite nice, and this is instant speed removal. So, since we're ahead, I don't feel the need to pump, because then we're weak to an unsummon, which it looks like. Or Brazen Bower, that too. Brazen Bower was so good in this deck. Alright, so I assume they don't play anything here. We go Foulmire Knight. Draw. If they interact with this, we're just happy as a clam. Wow, okay, well that takes them off of... I mean... Like, that's a cantripping 1-1 for us. That we have to spend more mana on this turn, which we don't want to spend, really. So, yeah, that's... That is good with me. Unfortunately, we need 2 more white sources to activate Ardenvale, which is another mark against it for this deck. So I'm going to do this. It's not weak to Quench or Essence Scatter, because we can pay through the Quench, and they don't have the mana for Essence Scatter. Yeah, they have no Spectacle in that deck as far as I know, so the 1 point of damage isn't super relevant. Let's do this again. Again, if they keep tapping themselves down on their turn, so then they're tapped down when it comes to our turn and we try to execute our game plan, I don't mind that at all. And now we have... Okay, well you can't block creatures without flying, so you can trade here. I think I'm fine with this trade. I think there are much better things I could be spending my removal on. Especially because Knight is going to be... Knight's such a larger threat than... You know, I think I just do this twice and take them to 6. If I do this, they go to 9, and this guy becomes a 2/3. I think I like doing this here, honestly. Smoking while you got him, as they say. I'm gonna leave this in hand for now because it won't affect combat at all. I can do 2 pumps or pump plus Murderous Rider. Now I can't kill them if I Murderous Rider plus pump, so I don't think that's worth trying to do here. They do not draw. Does that mean they're activating Vantress? Are they putting down a Flash Wolf? They'd rather activate Vantress than draw. And they see one more card this way, but is that worth drawing one fewer cards? And then if they drew an Unsummon, not being able to unsummon our guy here? Maybe they don't run Unsummon. I think if you run Brazen Borrower, Unsummon is probably one of the things that you cut. Especially in a list that runs Quench and stuff. So I think we have pretty much ground them down here from the looks of it. Now we can start getting our card advantage engine online. I should have done that on our turn, huh? But then I wouldn't have had this up, so... Alright, so... They're just dead to Rankle. I think I like this because this gives us 2 axes of attack while having up Murderous Rider. And I don't have to pump Knight of the Ebon Legion to kill them because Rankle plus the draw effect kills them. And then I have Murderous Rider mana up or Pump mana up, so got a lot of ways to play this out. Yep, Frilled Mystic, that's fine. They're okay with going to 1, apparently. I think I like taking that to 1. Taking them to 1 here, rather than playing Murderous Rider. Because the Frilled Mystic isn't super threatening to us at the moment. And if they play anything, it's probably going to be on our turn, so we will have any creatures, I guess. So we'll have Murderous Rider mana up again there. Thinking pretty hard about this one. Could be deciding between like a land to let them play a spell and a creature, because 4 is so powerful for them. And it looks like they've been missing land drops, so I imagine they do not have lands in hand at the moment. Or maybe they disconnected again. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, they settle on the island. That does not give them Frilled Mystic, or that gives them neither Mystic nor that other one. So we have 7. If you go 1, 2. So I think our best bet here, because they can chump right out of the Ebon Legion and, you know, very productively. So if we do, so if we do this and they counter it, then we Murderous Rider their Frilled Mystic and kill them. If they don't counter this, we have 7, 1, 2, 6. So we're short of being able to do this plus cast Rankle plus get rid of Frilled Mystic. But if they, like, you know, Sinister Sabotage this, then they're just dead. Okay, negate. So they can still have another negate. So I guess this is the part where we make them have it, right? Got him. 1-drops, really, really powerful 1-drops and lots of sorcery, or lots of instant speed interaction is really good against that deck. Okay, I guess we still need 2 more wins to get the Royal Scion's Mastery Orb. So yeah, Castle Ardenvale felt really bad there, but Castle Locktwain felt amazing, so probably right to go up to 3-0 of those. Although, I mean, the thing with Locktwain, or with Ardenvale, is that it does give you things to sacrifice to Cavalier of Night and to Rankle, as well as, you know... we played against Arasu earlier, didn't we? I think I keep this on the draw, because once we get to 3, then we're pretty much good. Is this the Grixis Fires person we played against earlier? Could be. That's drawing a Swamp Throw. It's perfect. Looks like we're getting thought erasured. Yep. Looks like Worthy Knight is going to say goodbye. If they do that, we spend our turn Order of Midnight, get back Worthy Knight, but that takes us off of our curve of Worthy Knight into Midnight Reaper. So, that's still really good for them. Yep. We could get the Thought Erasure bug and top deck Worthy Knight, though. Ah, blast. Never lucky. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're laying out this one. Getting back Worthy Knight. And are probably playing out Reaper, I think. Other land is quite good, because that allows us to cast Rankle next turn. And or Worthy Knight into Order of Midnight, which makes this a pretty good line. Looks like it's getting Bedazzled. That's my... Ooh. Called it. It's like we saw this person's deck earlier. Fires of Invention. Is it in their last 4? Sure is. Never don't have it. But again, has nothing to play after it, so that's good. Good for us, good for us. I kind of like Rankling here, honestly. Like, Cavalier of Night doesn't do a whole lot. We can't cast it yet. We need another black to cast it, so maybe we discard that and make them get rid of something, because with 3 cards left in their hand, that's pretty good for us. Yeah, let's do it. I don't want to make them draw because they can just squeeze out so many powerful spells so quickly. So if you draw a land next turn, then we can play this and this plus Smitten Swordmaster. No, we can't. I think I'm getting rid of this one. Because Cavalier of Night is a threat that can just, you know... Like, its come into play effect isn't great, but it'll get something back if it dies, and it will pressure them heavily until then. Oh, they had another Fires of Invention to discard to Rankle. That does not feel the best. I love the decks that main the Fires of Invention decks that main deck Aethergust, and then will sometimes Aethergust their own Fires of Invention away to just, you know, spend the 20 mana they have. It's like, well, you gave me no targets for it, but still found something useful to do. Did not find what we were looking for, but we could also get back Rankle, but then I'd rather try to get back Rankle, and we can like hope to find a few lands, try to get Rankle back when we can then cast him. So for now, I just like getting out 5 power over 3 bodies. We could have Cry, we saw that last time. They shock in and do nothing? Oh, because they want to activate Vantress. I was like, you can't activate at instant speed, you know. Alright, there's nothing haste related that we can do here. So I think what we're doing is swinging. Take him to 8. Then we're gonna play Midnight Reaper, so if we get board wiped, we can rebuild and hopefully cast Cavalier. Oh shoot, we tapped wrong. Oh no, I should have been paying attention to that, because I was gonna curry favor here and ding him for 3 more damage. Take him to 5, so they're just, you know, more lines to that on board. But that did not happen, because obviously we want to activate Castle Ardenvale with our 0 land, or 0 mana that we can pump into it. Oh, you know, they exiled everything, so we didn't even get to redraw off that. Boy, does this feel familiar? Does this feel familiar to anyone else? So we could have them at 5 here, but we don't. That feels bad. Alright, so I think our play here is to return Rankle to our hand. Should have paid attention to the tapping there, but I didn't. So yeah, we could... By all rights, we should have been able to get them dead on this next turn if I would have been paying attention to the auto-tapper. So we'd have them at 5. Then we have Blackland's Paragon at end of their turn when they can't cast Enter the God Eternals. I guess they could cast their Fae of Wishes and then Enter the God Eternals that. But I don't know if that's what they want to do. Well, that feels terrible. Yikes. We'll see if they cast another thing. So what they should do here is they should move to their second main phase before they do anything. Yep. Yep. Caught in the crossfire of the Golos deck with not enough lands. And we can't let them enter the God Eternals. Boy, yeah, taking us off of... I mean, they really should have hit There Was Our Swamp. Because we'd be 2 lands from activating Ardenvale, and they've seen a bunch of black and some double black in here, and very, very little white. But yeah, at this point, we're probably out of the game. We're very close there if we've had them at 5, and then... able to field 6 flash and or haste power. But as it is, yeah.
The immortal Nicole Bolas will be your end. Another time, Planeswalker. You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
Yeah, okay. That's gonna do it. Hard fought and lost on the back largely of land destruction. Main deck land destruction. Alright, let's run that back. It's been feeling pretty good, honestly. It's gonna be hard to beat the Grixis Fires deck with this, especially when they have Cry of the Carnarium and can wish for Enter the God Eternals. That is going to be pretty tough. I wonder why that's not in their wish board, honestly. It seems like that would be a much better place for it. Not super fond of this, but... Again, we can play a bunch of things with the mana that we have, and then with 1 source of black, we're just fine. This is going to be an Edgewall Incubator. Oh no, Kill the Goose, even worse. Hello! Well, that's the worst land we could see next... I guess Ardenvale is worse. No, Ardenvale's better, because this would bring it into play untapped. Oh, That's a little bit late, but we'll take it for sure. I think it was a better line here than we would have had last turn. And this wouldn't have done anything last turn anyways. That would have let us, you know, if we wanted to like play an Order of Midnight out. Ooh. Okay, they miss a land drop. Is it way... Oh no, we can't cast that because we don't have enough... We don't have enough black to murder their Swift and their Goose. I guess they're just... They have a... Oh, thank you. That is amazing. I will take that action. Get us that extra black. That was a very clever line, but while they're missing lands, they're ramping us like that to save a couple damages. Because I would not have pumped there, I think, if they had not done that. So I don't think that was a very good line for them, honestly, because giving us that extra mana is so good. So we can go like... I don't think we kill their goose. Because they're going to find land eventually, and they very well may next turn. And then 4 is probably where they want to be, because that's where you get Questing Beast. So I would really like to kill their Questing Beast. So I think for this turn, we're going to Midnight Reaper. If they get Beast, that's fine. We can take it for a turn, and then Order of Midnight back our Might of the Ebon Legion, which we can cast for cheap next turn, and then still be able to Murderous Rider, or do Order of Midnight plus Murderous Rider. Or if we get a land, do all 3 of them. That would be very cool. Oh, it's the Abzan Wolves deck. Alright, so those two kill each other. We draw a card, they gain 3 life. We will be killing Tolsimir. But we will do it not at sorcery speed. So we can't go Night, Night, Murder, because we only have 3 black. So I think we'll just play a single Knight of the Ebon Legion. I'm going to check... enters the battlefield under control. Yeah, okay. With all the main deck sideboard cards we've been seeing, maybe I should kill that guy at instant speed. We're going to say no blocks. Because I imagine we're going to get Night Pack Ambushered. If we do. If we go to kill him. Which is not a thing I was thinking about, actually. Until they attack there, that Night Pack Ambusher has Flash. So, if they've got it, then we're just in a terrible spot here. Yep. Super bad. Super bad play here. Should have just killed the Tolsimir when he had the chance, because I wasn't thinking about... I don't think I played against Abzan Wolves, actually. It doesn't really seem like it's a meta deck, but it is sure sweet. So yeah. Once I sent that attack in there, I realized the folly of my ways. I thought that we were probably in an okay spot, but because we had multiple removal spells, and they were running really low on cards in hand. So that feels... Plus, we had a Knight of the Ebon Legion in play. So, being able to be ahead and threatening on board like that while keeping our opponent, you know, basically out of resources would be really good. But I didn't see the line, because, you know, who plays Night Pack Ambusher, really? I mean, that hasn't been, you know, a primary force in Standard for like 4 months or anything. I like that. We can't go 1-drop, 2-drop, but we don't really want to 1-drop Foulmire Knight all the time anyways, so seems fine. Flyers deck, man, these decks that I haven't seen in forever are just coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden. Alright, so Rankle is hopefully going to be pretty good to us. Because having a tap land there is really good. Ooh, us getting a Murderous Rider is also really good. So I really want to find a land for Rankle, but I think that the better play here is to... So I could play Murderous Rider, is the thing there. Okay. So that's fine. So you come down. We will just Murderous Rider you right now. Actually, we should do this after they attack, just because that makes them make the decision with slightly less information. I do not believe that will be relevant at all, but yeah, I think Actually, do we even... I don't think we even get rid of that, because this is representing Saphara, but I think we just kill the Saphara if that's what they do, so... Let's try to find this land for Rankle. We did not find the land. We did not find the land. Feels bad, man. I don't remember how many lands we have in this deck. It could be right to add another one, especially now that we don't have Scry lands. Because we have been feeling pretty pinched on mana. Our curve is higher than it probably needs to be. And our interaction is pretty expensive in this deck. So stuff like that is pretty bad for us. Blacklands Paragon is actually our other source of interaction, but of course, it doesn't block flyers very well, it turns out. Okay, so there's Rankle. Is that just way too late to do anything? Very likely. We're going to 3 this next turn. If they have Rally of Wings, we're just dead. So I think what we're doing... I think we just have to play the Rankle and block or make them tap down a bunch of mana to exile it and still take some damage off the board. This does let us survive through a Rally of Wings. Oh, no, it doesn't, because that'll deal... It's +2. Yep, they got it. Yeah, it's very hard when... So this deck doesn't race, it grinds. It doesn't race super well, and it has a lot of interaction, but as you saw, half of the interaction is blank against it, and the other half is very slow, and your opponent's playing lots of 1-drops, so that is going to be pretty tough. And I haven't seen Flyers literally since Eldraine released, and probably for like a month before that, so suddenly getting 3 matches against the Flyers deck, I think, or I think one of those is actually White Weenie, which I also haven't seen since then, is really unusual. So I'm getting lots of just weird decks that we're getting crushed by because we're not building around them at all. And also, yeah, we're seeing the not enough land. Turn 1 Mountain on the... Yep. Red deck wins is on the play. That means they have probably won against this hand. Oh, yuck. Alright, we go to 16. We'll plop down a Worthy Knight. Probably get shocked and maybe cavalcaded. I think I'm actually blocking this guy. Because that guy makes us take 1 extra damage, but this guy can get evasion. Okay, that's fine. Still trading 2 for 1 while getting an evasive guy off the table. And we can play this guy and hope he survives. If he doesn't, we're probably completely dead because we'll take 3, 4, 6... well, Tybalt stops us from gaining the life, so that's pretty bad.
The more, the messier.
We can rankle Tybalt away here. I should have got in with this guy, because we would kill it, obviously, but, you know, I assume they're going to shock us here. So that's the only reason that I can see them not attacking with this guy, because they're going to kill this one anyways. So we take 2, we go to 8 off of the attack plus... Oh, okay, it was another Rimrock Knight. So Rankle is just in time. Rankle can kill Tybalt. Oh no. That was that was literally the best top deck they could have possibly had. It's the one thing that kills us out of nowhere. Wow. We almost fought our way back into that one. And they had the play, and they had a fantastic curve, 3/1/1s on turn 2. 2 of them with haste. And into Tybalt to stop our life gain, into Torbrand. But we actually almost got our way in there. Like, on the play there, we were probably in a fantastic position, because we would have had... one turn of life gain, and then kill their Tybalt, and then another turn of life gain, and then Torbrand comes down. At that point, we're probably in a pretty good spot. But no such luck. Don't think I want to lead on Foulmire Knight here. Ooh, nice. This is a very cool deck. I think I'll probably play this, play the different Aristocrats builds. So the like Cat Oven deck and the more traditional Rankle Aristocrats, because Rankle's so good in that deck. Next time around. Looks like we're getting some kind of interaction pointed out. Piper of the Swarm, huh. Alright, well I think we're just killing that guy and then getting in. I actually kind of hope that they sack him, because then Murderous Rider fizzles and goes to our graveyard, which means that we can buy it back with Order of Nice. So they get a food out of that, but now we have a chance to rebuy rebuy Murderous Rider with Order of Midnight and then kill another thing, which I think is probably going to be better for us than them not having this food. Oh, that's pretty rude. Alright, so what do you want to do this turn? I think we probably want to... Worthy Knight plus Knight of the Ebon Legion. About 3 creatures, 2 of which are pretty threatening. I think I hold on to the Foulmire Knight because we're probably going to have to grind to some extent, given what we're seeing here. Oh, this is an Orzhov Kitties deck. I think I like this. I don't really know what we're playing around here, but... So imagine that they... Oh, they don't block anything. Yeah. I think I like pumping here. 2, 3, 6, take them to 10. They've got food and stuff, but that's a pretty mana-intensive thing. Like, they can start sacking Cruel Celebrants. Sure. I think I actually do play this down now. Gets us 2 more power on the board. It's going to be a little bit yet before we're able to take advantage of the draw. So, yeah, let's get this guy down. Alright. So Cruel Celebrant's really cool in the Cat deck because that is a force multiplier on your Cat Oven combo. It's like the meanest combo in Standard, like, just from a Vorthos perspective. Ooh, Order of Midnight of their own. If we get a land, we can Order of Midnight our... I don't think they... Oh, right, okay, I see. So, no luck on the... going with all these guys. If they block Worthy Knight, we can Black Lance Paragon. Yeah, I don't like that a whole lot. I don't like making that trade. Wow. That's not what I was expecting. Alright, oops. One more. Then I think I'm putting down Murderous Rider here. Because they don't really have any... They have 2 cards left in hand. We know one's Piper of the Storm. Well, I guess in that case, we probably do want to rebuy Murderous Rider. And I think I'll just play out the Order of Midnight, field an additional 3 power. I will say too, the Cavalier of Night feels like it's probably not right in this deck, because it increases the curve by a fair amount, like going from 4 drops at the top to 5 drops at the top. Usually means a couple extra lands you'll need. Also, we have a lot of adventures, which adventures, you know, between having both of the halves that you usually want to cast, is just, that's extra ways of spending your mana. So even with a lower curve, you often end up spending more mana that way, and then being more choked on cards. Alright. That land is quite nice because that'll let us double spell here in one of 2 ways. Do we start swinging with side here? No, because they, the tokens just get eaten. Pretty much eaten alive. But I do like going in like so. Because to kill Worthy Knight, they have to double block. Yep. Oh, no double blocks, okay. Make sure this is tapping correctly so that we can also Murderous Rider. And I think I'm going to leave the Cruel Celebrants. Okay, so... Yep. They see the line where this stops us from getting life, but we still killed their guy. I'm wondering if it's right for us to kill the Cruel Celebrant here. Because they have 1 card left in hand. And the life drain on that is going to be really relevant for them. But we're getting them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 7... I think I like just pumping here, honestly. Buffing that of the Ebon Legion. They can get in for like 6, 8 if they swing with their side. Ooh, that's a good one. This is a very, very grindy matchup we have here. 6th land is phenomenal for us. So we just have to kill Ayara here, I feel like. Because she's card advantage. And also life gain. Yep. So they can go to 13 here, off of just their food and stuff. So we got 3, 7, 9, 12, 14. Okay, so they have to... Math is for blockers, as they say. They can gain 2 here. 6, 8. They can only kill us if they field a fair amount of power this coming turn, or get, like, lots and lots of... Okay, nice. So they drain us for 2. Actually, they drain us for 4 here. So we go to 7, they go to 14. Now, I didn't want to play Midnight Reaper first, even though I would get some card draws off of it. 1, because we're low on life, and that's not irrelevant here. And 2, because that meant that they had to chump an additional creature for Knight of the Ebon Legion. Okay, so we're at 5, they're at 13. We play Midnight Reaper. Get another 1/1. So yeah, I think we would just be dead here, because they'd take us to 3 with Order of Midnight. Yeah, so we would have died if we'd had this Midnight Reaper in play. Priest of Forgotten Gods. So they can get their gutter... I don't think we had them there. Because they get back Gutter Bones if they don't die that turn, which seemed like I don't think they were going to die there. Look at that. Then they... Actually, no, let's do our last match or 2 here with Royal Teamer. Keep forgetting that you can't submit a deck from there. But yeah, anyway, so if they didn't die that turn, then... Priest of Forgotten Gods. Yeah, they attack with Order of Midnight, which you can't block. Priest of Forgotten Gods deals us the last damage. They take us to -1. So it feels like they... Maybe I'm... Well, I suppose they would have had to chump block. Right, they would have had to chump block Knight of the Ebon Legion, because Knight of the Ebon Legion would have been lethal because we would have been able to pump twice, and it was already a 3/4, so that would be 9 damage on its own. Plus all the 1/1s, plus the Order of Midnight that they can't block. You saw how good Order of Midnight was on both of our sides there. This is not where we want to be. This is more where we want to be, but oh god, it's still not very good. But that's the best we've had. We have 2 Bone Crushers in here, and 2 Skargan Hellkites, and we've seen like virtually all of them between those 3 hands. Alright, well, you know what our opponent's doing now. Hopefully they'll lead on that guy, which won't do anything for a few turns, because we'll have a Grazer in the way. And then we'll hope that turn 2 Oko is enough to win on a mulligan to 5 on the... on the draw. Not when we want to see that, of course, but, you know.
Walk with me, sing with me. I will enlighten you. Oh dear.
I think I'm going to hold this back. Because... if they decide they don't want to suicide into our... Well, if they decide they do want to suicide into our Oko... Okay. Yeah, okay. So they can get them to 1. If they spend their turn to do so.
You are fouler than a fiend.
doing this.
and all your cares are gone. Every tale about me is absolute nonsense. Absolutely. Your new look is enchanting.
So there's a chance here that they end up being up in a position where we can swap Pelt Collector. If we get a nice top deck. I assume they have a way of buffing Pelt Collector here, which makes an attack here pretty good for them. So yeah, they're at 4. That's, you know, that's questing beast money. Oh, Growth Chamber Guardian's not questing beast. Ooh. That is a lot of Growth Chamber Guardians. He will trade 1 for 1, sure. Yep, no, we did not find... Okay, get rid of that. If we can find a... please not that. Oh, but we're gonna go down to not having any green here, so we can't really put that line together. So if we'd found like a goose or a grazer or something, we could play that, swap the Pelt Collector for it. But yeah, as it is... Without a second source of green, it's not a thing we can do. I mean, we can swap this for this, and that might actually be preferable, because Pelt Collector grows. I think I actually like that, because our Oko dies no matter what. Yeah, they can hit our Oko for 6 no matter what. So I'm just going to do this.
I found something for you to dote on.
Yep, that's going to do it.
Oh, I am gonna love tearing this place to the ground.
That is going to do it, because she'll go to 5. Wait, are you? Yeah, there you go.
This'll be fun to watch.
We'll take 7. Go to 13. For a multi 5, this isn't going too bad. Alright, let's kill our Vivian. I'm very surprised they didn't just chump block our Pelt Collector there. I could save this to keep them off of information and or have something to loot away with the Royal Scions, but I don't like doing that when I could scry, which, as you saw there, as good as a draw. Oh no. God, this is... Again, haven't seen this card in forever. And now here we are getting wrecked by... Okay, well, there's the Scions. So, guess I should get... Well, if I would have kept that in hand, I would have drawn another Scry land. And then scryed this to the top. So, that's going to do it. Can't get there, even with the turn 2 Oko off of a 5-card hand. Maybe if we were on the play, we could have had a chance there, because there was a chance that we would have been able to swap a food... make a food with Oko and then swap it for... their Growth Chamber Guardian before they had a chance to activate or something like that. But yeah, not making it happen there. And maybe, so our first hand would have been alright there, because it just turned out that a 2-mana deal 2 damage spell would have been pretty good. But that would be the Psychic play, not the good play. And this feels terrible, because tapped green, not green, not green, Grazer, Scions. But we've got a chance of drawing green off the top, we've got a chance of drawing Once Upon a Time off the top, and our hand is pretty good. It's just a little bit slower than we want, especially against gates where we want to win by like turn 4. Well, there's the Once Upon a Time, so maybe we actually get rewarded. Sure looks like it. Alright. Unfortunately, there went Oko. But if we go Grazer, I'm going to put the Temple in because I want to get the come into play tap out of the way right now, and Shocking probably isn't going to be very relevant. Yeah, I feel like we bottom that guy. Right? Yeah, Wicked Wolf is just very slow and not very high impact against this deck. Now here we can Scions and start looting, which will be good. We'll start building towards that ultimate. And again, we were on the draw here, so we'll have a harder time ultimating before they can interact than if we were on the play, because it's a very, very, very swingy standard in terms of play versus draw. But we still got our turn 1 accelerant, so we still got a chance at that. And then if we draw another source of red, we can get down Sarkhan. Even, you know, is it actually right to go Domri and then Sarkhan? Because Domri guarantees Sarkhan next turn. I think if we draw a source of red here, I go Scions first. Boy. Yeah, I think I like Domri into Sarkhan, honestly.
I'm crazy. What's that? Something smells rotten. Wait, that might be me.
Grazer doesn't have Defender for some reason. Domri lets it get in there. Well, if one's growth spiraling again, that means they're not interacting with us right here, so that's good. So they are going to be at board wipe mana for their next turn, so I think I just like plussing Sarkhan rather than, you know, put pressure on right now, rather than try to get a dragon out and then attack with it in the future.
We begin.
I guess they're spending their turn board wiping. Then we hit them for 8 plus 4. I think it's actually pretty good. Let's try to make them board wipe here. That doesn't feel bad at all. When we have Questing Beast that we can play now. They don't really have... I don't think they can really throw 2 damage at our Sarkhan. I guess they could have Teferi. That would be the punish, because with Island, Temple of Mystery, I imagine that they're playing Teferi here. Alright, so they're throwing out Fabled Passage right now, which means they probably can't... They're probably a little ways from getting a Field of the Dead online, because otherwise they would sandbag this for as long as possible, and then play field, and then get double field triggers off of it. Grace is pretty good. Other Questing Beast is also pretty good. So I think I will play QB plus Domri. Or plus Sarkhan. Oh wait, we can just okay, who do you want to have kill? Who do we want to have kill this Hydroid Krasis? I think we have Questing Beast kill it because we have another one in hand, so we can just... Because no matter which one I have fight it, it's taking 5 damage off the battlefield. This way we hit them for 16. Take them to 4. They are very dead on board. And then we also have another quest. Yeah, take them to 4. We have Questing Beast in hand. We just killed our opponent with a... Was that a turn 3 Sarkon the Masterless? So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Maybe I'm misremembering that because we went... Turn... Yeah, it was... That was turn 2 Domri off of 3 lands off the Grazer and then turn 3 Sarkon. I think that's a good place to leave it. I mean, we're 1 win away from our weekly wins, but... You know... It's late. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours now, which is a lot longer than I usually go, and it is later than I usually sign off, so I think we'll leave it there. We can take care of this one tomorrow. Not on stream. That wouldn't be a very interesting stream. But anyway, so we didn't do a post-mortem on the Chivalry deck yet, because I wanted to finish off that quest if possible, so let's take a quick look here. This card was bad in this deck, and we want probably like 2 fewer planes as well, so... I don't think I actually have a 3rd Castle Locthwain. Yeah, I'm not actually going to put that in right now because I don't even know if we want a 3rd. And I don't think that we want Fabled Passage. Because we got... Something's going to have to give, though, isn't it? Okay, well, one, how many lands will it put us up to? That'll put us up to 24, so maybe we want to... Trim Cavalier of Night to go up to like 25 lands, so maybe we do go back in these swamps and then go back into 2, because we don't want to go too low on white sources because we have a white 2-drop that's very, very good. So maybe we go Temple of Silence times 2, so we have 1 more land than before. 2 tapped lands again, sorry for the bump. And then we've got 3, 5, 9. Yeah, we probably do it like this. So we should have plenty of black this way, right? Because we got 2, 6, 7, 8, 20. Yeah, 20 sources of black should be plenty, even with 2 of them coming into play tapped, and these 2... You know, we have 16 things to bring this into play untapped. That should be sufficient, I think. So hopefully that helps with the... hopefully that helps a little bit. Oh, yeah, you know, we've got... So we could go with Tournament Grounds, right? Because that is an untapped dual land. But that doesn't let us cast Rankle, which needs double black, or Thorin, which needs white. So that's actually a really awkward thing. That's probably better than Temple of Silence, right? So let's go like that and do Tournament Grounds. Because our 4, like we have a lot longer to find the right colors for our 4-drops than our 2-drops. And then we did see a couple times too where it was like, even with all these black sources, we wanted to like Murderous Rider, Adventure, Murderous Rider, other side, and then like Knight of the Ebon Legion, and we were short of black. So, you know, I don't think... I'll have to check this, but I don't think that you can cast Swift End or, you know, Bring Back or Alter Fate. I don't think you can cast those off of Tournament Grounds because I'm pretty sure that like the adventure side doesn't have the creature type on it. Like that would be some weird Lorwyn style stuff where you had like tribal instants and sorceries, and that we do not have. So yeah, I don't think that that's really it's a thing you can do. But I mean, if you cast the first half without tournament grounds, you can use the tournament grounds to cast the second half with it, and you can always make the colorless for it. So that seems all right. Foulmire Knight felt actually pretty decent because there's just so many huge creatures out there. Like it was killing their Lovestruck beasts, and even when it was just killing a Murderous Rider to get us in extra damage next turn, that was fine. And I feel like the Profane Insight is kind of hard to really make valuable, but that's fine. And we also have, Worthy Knight gives it a guy. Midnight Reaper, you can chump with it, kill the thing, draw a card. That stuff's all great. Rankle was really good again. We only got to use it with Worthy Knight once, but when we did, it was amazing. We only saw Sorin once that whole time. Considering how many Skargan Hellkites we saw in 21 cards in the first game with the Teamer Oko deck, or Royal Teamer, we didn't see very many Sorins at all. But he was really good when we saw him. The fact that he gives your guys lifelink is phenomenal when you have a bunch of little dudes that you can throw in, Worthy Knight making you tokens that all become 1/1 lifelinkers. Knight of the Ebon Legion becoming like a 5/6 lifelink Death Touch. That's absurdly good. Order of Midnight being able to fly in over the top and, get you some life back because she can't block, so, gain a little bit back that way. All seems pretty good. Now, hopefully with a slightly lower curve and with the tournament grounds in there, we'll find things a little bit easier to cast more consistently. So you'll notice that one of the things we really struggled against was decks where we needed lots of interaction. And we have 3 Legions and 3 Devout Decree, 4 Noxious Grasp in the sideboard. So those are all narrow cards, but they're all very, very good. And I think that would help us out quite a bit in game 2, because that shores up such a big weakness of this deck, which is just that expensive card and fiddly to actually get it to do what you need it to do card. Although it's great that you can Black Lance Paragon, Order of Midnight back, Black Lance Paragon again. Obviously, no, it's there the second time around, but I guess Rankle's also interaction, but of a, again, unreliable sort. I don't know if Icon of Ancestry is good in this deck, but it's an Anthem effect, and we have 30 creatures. That's 30 things that we can hit off of it. We're a little bit grindier, and we have a slightly higher number of lands because of that, so we can probably pump mana into this and play a thing out pretty consistently. And of course, your Icon of Ancestry is also grabbing you like your Murderous Riders, so it's finding removal spells, Black Lance Paragon for when that's relevant. So, I think those changes to the mana base, hopefully that'll help things out. This guy was probably the biggest underperformer of the deck, but it is a very good card. If we hadn't gotten our guys exactly exiled with that Cry of the Carnarium, getting all of those draws would have been really cool, but unfortunately no destroy-based or, death-related board wipes coming our way there. Just too bad. We didn't get to see that do what we wanted it to do. But that's going to do it for tonight, I think. We're at 2 hours and 59 minutes. We've got a pack, too. Before we go, let's open our 2 packs, and let's do our Mastery. Push it just over 3 hours. I don't think Heraldic Banner is good for that deck, but it is something to think about, I guess, because almost all of our creatures are... Well, but our thing that's going wide is white, and it's making white tokens, so not as good there as you would think. Giant Killer is a peasant, not a knight, but it's pretty good, actually. It's something to consider for, like, sideboards, maybe. And Throne of Eldraine, pack number 2, uncommon wild card. Golden Egg. Love that art. Oh, the 3rd Castle Locktwain. So now if we decide we want another Castle Locktwain, we can throw it in there. So that's great. And so we got 1 pack, 1 orb. Let's get that Royal Scions. Sweet. And they've got to have, like, there's no Oko style as far as I know, right? Like, it's not in the game yet. When you try to do it, it says there's, like, no styles for that card. So it's not in here. It's got to be, like, some kind of, like, it's got to be there, right? It's, like, the face walker of the set. It's, I think by a significant margin the most expensive card in the set in paper. Clearly, like some people are saying, it's the most pushed Planeswalker of all time. There's a lot of competition for that, but it is probably the most bonkers 3-drop, especially in Eternal formats, where turning off artifacts and swapping utility creatures and stuff like that is really important. I mean, if your opponent doesn't kill you with Paradoxical Outcome on turn 2, at least. So I think next we're going to go up the black, because we got a bunch of really good ones. Foulmire Knight, Ayara, Murderous Rider, Rankle. Those four are all fantastic. Oh, hey, you can see what you got. You didn't used to be able to do this. All the previous masteries, if you moused over things you'd already picked up, it didn't show you what it was. That's such a nice, just like quality of life thing to reintroduce that. So, and I think after that we're going to run up the Embercleave side, because you all know how much I love Embercleave. And Fervent Champion's also quite nice. It's possible that we should just be running Mardu in our Knights deck there, but I wanted to try something, because I already have a lot of aggressive decks, and I wanted something that was a little bit more on the grindy value side. So I built that one instead. So anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. It's always so much fun doing these. I hope that you got a good sense of those different decks and sort of what we're trying to do with them and how they work or don't work, how they can be improved, what potential they might have, all that stuff. So let me know what you think in the comments. Give it a like, subscribe if you liked it, thumbs down, let us know what we could do better if you didn't. Let us know what you'd like to see in the future. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.